2 live in Los Angeles. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and right here, FS1. Joy Taylor is joining me for Hour 2. Peter King coming up this hour. Chris Haynes was at the Laker game last night. Good dude, one of our guys. Yahoo Sports Insider. He'll join us in about 40 minutes. Peter King in about 15 minutes. Herd Hierarchy in about 3 minutes. It is great to have you on a Tuesday today. It is great. I could talk about the Giants' loss. What's the point? That game was boring. That game was boring. It was not on Fox, so, what's the point of even watching? All right, so here's what's funny. Baseball's got 162 games. And so a manager can come up after a game, say something, and it disappears into the ether. Game the next day. NBA, hockey, 82 games. We don't micro-analyze what coaches say. But in football, it's different. In football, there's one game a week, college and pro. So when you go to the microphone, that comment is going to live for a week. That's going to be your moment for a week for guys like me, people like Joy to microanalyze. In baseball, hell's a game the next day. Basketball, hockey game in 2 days. But you got to have a plan when you go to the podium in the NFL. Doug Pederson... And this rambling doesn't sum it up. Went to the podium, Eagles coach, and did not have a plan.
Yeah, there's probably the pressure should be off. We shouldn't have any pressure going into football games, even though, listen, every game, don't misunderstand, there's pressure with every football game, okay? Pressure to win, there's all of that. Sometimes players, coaches, teams put pressure on themselves when they don't have to. You know what I mean? To make a play. Now, when you win games.
Now he should have stopped right about there. Oh, but he's not done talking. That was a good 17-second soundbite. But he's got more to talk about.
So now we're going to sit here and scrutinize every little thing when these things were not being, we were actually making these plays a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
He could have stopped right there.
Now we're going to sit here.
Again, you could stop right there. I got 2 great sound bites. This guy is still talking and still just talking.
Yeah, we can go back and use that as fuel, as emotion, but it's a different team, different year. We're in this situation. We've kind of dug ourselves in a little bit of a hole, and the great thing about where we are.
Cut! Doug, stop talking. Oh, he's not done.
Vision ahead of us. And quite, we got, 9 games?
Okay, I can't take it anymore. He did not have a plan. Okay, you got a plan on Sunday, got to have a plan on Monday. And Chris Carter talked about this morning on First Things First. You got to be, that puppy's going to live in Philadelphia. That's going to be microanalyzed for a week.
He reminds me of a coach who you listen to the press conferences and he say some crazy stuff, and it was Rex Ryan. He didn't have the Super Bowl resume, though. Now, imagine some of the sound bites that came out. I used to be like, I know that guy knows football. Now, I know Doug Pederson knows football, but what a lot of these guys don't know, they don't know how to be a head coach. And there's a reason why Bill Belichick has the most simple answers at the press conference. The reason, he has a plan. He has a plan when he goes into the press conference. That is a coach that did not have a plan going into the press conference.
No, he did not. That's why when you don't have a plan and you're not composed, you become history. Networks like Fox Sports, FS1, the place I used to work, we just put it on a reel and bring it up all the time. Here's some coaches that didn't have a plan. We don't even have anything that compares to this in baseball, hockey, or basketball.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
There's 3 quarterbacks on this football team. Whichever one starts. Whichever ones don't, we'll back him up. Period. Cut and dried. It's nobody's concern but ours. Nobody's. Next.
Mike, why are you in such a bad mood?
What do you care?
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Who's the kid here? Are you kidding me? That's all I got to say. Makes me want to puke.
The guy that called us a fraud, ask Alabama if we're a fraud. Was his name Colin Coward? Ask him, I don't never met him, don't know him. Ask him if we're Alabama if we're a fraud. Ask Ohio State if we're a fraud. Ask Oklahoma if we're a fraud. The only fraud is that guy because he didn't do his homework. I hope y'all print that.
See, that's what happens if you don't have a plan. You just start rambling, incoherently rambling, just making silly stuff up. But yeah, I mean, that thing with Doug Pederson, that's going to last in Philly for a week.
I told you about Doug Pederson yesterday.
He's just talking.
Just getting mad because they're asking why he's not running the ball. Like
he's got to get better at the podium. All right, here we go. It's a top 10 teams herd hierarchy. I don't know why I put so much time into this, but I do. I care. Here we go.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
I was so blown away by Carolina's come-from-behind win in Philadelphia. And Cam Newton now has 2 touchdown passes, 2+ in 5 straight games. He's never done that. I've always liked their defense. Front 7, it's now getting healthy. They're 4th in rushing, and they're 4th in third down defense. But to go on the road and to overcome a deficit when Philadelphia knows you got to throw the ball, I thought Cam showed leadership. I thought the Eagles got tight. And give Carolina the number 10 spot.
Number 9.
I don't think Washington's a top 10 team, but I got to tip my cap to Alex Smith. Alex Smith goes to San Francisco. Harbaugh shows up and he wins a bunch of games and they replace him. And he goes to Kansas City and wins a bunch of games and they replace him. And now he goes to Washington and they lead the division by a couple of games. And they probably want to replace him in the draft. I mean, listen, they only have 5 turnovers all year, second in the NFL. That's directly attributed to Alex Smith. Is that the fact that Washington, with a lack of brand new quarterback, lost Sean McVay a couple years ago, lost star receivers, dealing with injuries, tough division, and they have now beaten Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz, and Cam Newton this year. I'm putting them in my top 10, number 9.
Number 8.
Watch out for Minnesota. They're playing defense again. They now have the best third down defense in the NFL.